What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol PPSI for Pioneer Power Solutions. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, we have covered this one before on the channel, so this will be an update. And the main thing to discuss in today's session is what's going on in the post-market, right? We're currently trading 1055 by 1060. Let's go ahead and flip on the extended hour session, just kind of get a sense for where we are in relationship to some prior levels. So overnight high is basically at the 1156. That was intraday resistance from this big day in here. We'll take a look in just a second on the 30. Anticipated opening print will be here. We want to know where that is for now. I would expect it to change by the time 9:30 rolls around, but what we're about to discuss is, of course, a framework. And then the high of today's session is the last number that we would want to point out. So let's do it while we're here at $8.20. Let's turn that back off, clean up the chart, and now talk in terms of scenarios over on the daily time frame. So first thing I would point out is that you have to at least acknowledge, or I have to at least acknowledge rather, that this is being considered some sort of short squeeze candidate. If you pop open this tab, what you'll notice down below is that the short interest is about 41%, we'll say, just rounding up to the next whole number. So could it be a short squeeze? Absolutely. But as we know, it's usually the icing on the cake. We always need some sort of technical break before we get involved in the move. So the first scenario, whenever we're dealing with a gap up, and again, keep in mind the caveat of the sort of short squeeze idea behind it, is we're typically looking for a gap and trap, right? So we open here, fail to take out the overnight high, which as we know is 1156, trade back down through the open triggers a short to fill the gap underneath to $8.20. Now, do I think that's going to unfold? Maybe. Okay, maybe. It's a very iffy maybe, and you're certainly not going to take advantage of that anyways. If we come on over to the trade tab, what you'll notice is there are none to borrow, and obviously there is no options chain either. So you, as a retail trader, are certainly not going to short this if it does that scenario and pans out to the downside. You're just avoiding longs until it either puts in a pattern or fills the gap all the way to 820. What I think is a more likely scenario, just based on how short squeezes have acted historically, is if we open here and do some sort of consolidation opening range, rather, you're looking for a break up and over the overnight high to kind of trigger and fuel that short squeeze, and things will get exacerbated even more if we can take out the all-time high at $12.44. In my estimation, that's where things potentially get interesting and the real short squeeze kind of gets underway, right? We really don't have any data prior to that we can be looking for, for a potential stop for shorts, and in my estimation, it just makes sense that if you're short this name, some institution or whatever, they either have a stop up here or they have no stop, and they're willing to double down at some unknown price to the upside, right? They have more, ammo in the tank, essentially. So that's what I'm thinking gets interesting if we take out 1156, and then even more interesting on the break of 1244. And this is all going to be very, very obvious, right? You're going to know if it's a short squeeze if volume comes in hot and heavy down below. If volume's been, if volume tomorrow is on par with what we've seen throughout this section of the chart right here, and I'm not pointing to this, I'm literally referring to this section of the chart right here, that's a better visual, then this is probably not going to be a squeeze that runs for multiple dollars. It's going to be a quick, yay, everyone's excited, then it'll fade away as people lose interest. But if volume can be on par with what it was from here, this Monday session where things really took off, so like 20 million shares plus per 30-minute bar, then absolutely I would look for that potential move up and into blue sky territories, some accelerated momentum if the volume is truly there to support the move higher. That's really going to wrap up the video. It all comes down to volume on these momentum type trades. The short squeeze is the icing on the cake. We will need some sort of technical break of either the overnight high, 1156, or the all-time high to actually get involved in the trade to the upside, and we know that we're avoiding it if we do something like this and fade back down through the open. You do not want to be involved to the long side. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.